Well, it is wonderful to be back here in Dubai, and I very much look forward to sharing our journey and to how we've gotten here today. First off, I want to thank the leadership of the Dubai Land Department and RERA. Your incredible leadership has brought us to an incredible place, setting an example for the globe. In fact, as we go through this journey, I think you'll see some dots connect over time. I'm going to take you back well over 10 years ago. One particular year, I took 13 trips here to Dubai. And in some great early conversations with Marwan and others, we had a little idea, an inkling of an idea, that while we all recognize our buildings need to be good for the planet, the environmental and green building and sustainability movement, our thought was perhaps half the story was missing. Green building, focusing on energy usage and on the impact on planet Earth, of course, is the pillar of sustainability. But our question was, what about all the people we put inside our buildings? We spend over 90% of our lives indoors. And in fact, in the UAE, I think that number is 97% of your life spent inside. Take your age, multiply that times 0.97, and that's how much of your life you are spending inside of a box called four walls and a roof. That is not a natural condition. In fact, that goes against tens of or hundreds of thousands of years of our biological evolution, primarily spent outside. Our question was, can we merge the largest asset class in the world, real estate, with the world's fastest growing and arguably most important industry, health, wellness, prevention, nowadays health safety? Well, we've been busy since that time, and that journey started with 5 years of rigorous research, pulling in the world-renowned Mayo Clinic and Cleveland Clinic, and getting, in fact, over 300 doctors of different disciplines from around the world to work with real estate professionals of all types. Owners, operators, developers, architects, engineers, facilities managers, HR professionals, identifying everything indoors that matters to our health outcomes, both how we build our structural elements and also how we operate. And what's led from this blueprint are phenomenal programs like the health safety rating, which we're going to get into. But that work started with a holistic approach to the indoor environment. What matters? Well, air quality, water quality, lighting elements, thermal elements, acoustics, biophilic programming, surface and cleaning protocols, even HR policies and operational guidelines. All of these inputs map directly to our respiratory, cardiovascular, immune, cognitive, digestive, and sleep health outcomes. And this, in fact, research, which we put over $100 million of our capital towards over a 5-year period, led to the introduction of our International Well Building Institute and the Well Building Standard. This started in 2015, 2016. Proud to say, if you fast forward to today, the Well Building Standard and the International Well Building Institute are the world's largest and leading certification platforms for healthy and safe buildings. Our programs are in 130 countries. We have today over 4 billion square feet, 400 million square meters around the world achieving certifications and ratings. Companies including 25% of the Fortune 500, developers, small and large, all types of buildings, restaurants, stores, hotels, office malls, shopping malls, office buildings, shopping malls, stadiums, airports. Anything that's got a front door, actually, can adhere to the principles of the Well Building Standard. And through the pandemic, what emerged was our focus to start with the basics. If you think of overall health and well-being, what are we really talking about? We're talking about how we live our lives, how long we live our lives, longevity, quality of longevity, but it starts with health and safety. And thus the key pillar to begin that journey of the well-building movement has become the well health safety rating. As I landed here last night, we just started to look up some numbers, and I do recall in my first few visits to Dubai a long time ago, the population was 1.5 million people. And they said they expected that to grow to 3 and 5 million people. I mean, just phenomenal vision. And the leadership here captivated me. The ability to dream in a place like this captivated me. And coming back this morning or last night, this is now a 3.5 million person place from 1.5 million and growing, stronger than ever, more innovative than ever. And I'm so proud to announce this morning that through, again, the Dubai Land Department and RERA's leadership and commitment, as far as the well health safety rating, Dubai now has become number 1 in the world. The more well health safety rated buildings per capita in this place, by far, by the way, than anywhere else on the planet. And with all these professionals in the room, all these leaders in the room, it's interesting to think we can look at this as the beginning, setting an example to show everyone in the world that any building, large or small, new or old, can start to adhere to better health and wellness standards and be third-party validated to do so. And a community of professionals coming together to celebrate this means what? We're celebrating ourselves. We're celebrating the way we occupy our spaces in our everyday lives. It's interesting because as we have dealt with amazing medical folks, I mean, the top doctors in the world, they continue to come to us and say, you know, we haven't realized this, but perhaps real estate developers, real estate operators, real estate regulators could possibly have more of an impact on societal health outcomes than doctors. Because what surrounds us matters. If you think about our health outcomes, 5% of what may happen to any one of us in this room is genetic. We can't change that, at least not yet. Another 20 to 25% of our health outcomes are determined by our lifestyle and our access to care. What we eat, what we drink, how much we exercise, what have you. But here is what is staggering. The rest, up to 75% of the determinants of chronic health outcomes are our surrounding environmental and social conditions, where we place ourselves, which in today's day and age is inside. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the lighting we're exposed to, the health and safety protocols that we hope protect us, all of these are determinants of societal health. And thus, taking the world's largest asset class, real estate, and combining it with the world's fastest growing industry, health, wellness, prevention, putting those two things together, we argue, represents perhaps one of the most profound economic and societal opportunities of our time. And the blueprint to do this has become a consensus-driven approach. Years of research and years of ongoing research to continue to advance the understanding of our built environment and its impact on the human condition. And this gets very practical. Air quality leads to respiratory outcomes and cardiovascular outcomes. Water quality leads to digestive outcomes. Lighting, the type of lighting we take in through our circadian optic nerve determines all of our hormones for energy and sleep and our circadian rhythms. And this is a little preview as to what's next. What you all have become familiar with is the starting point, the blueprint, the well health safety rating. Now incredibly digitized to demonstrate buildings that have earned that accreditation. That's the beginning of the journey. moving on and advancing to higher levels of certification that encompass an even more profound understanding of all these things we can do. And it's interesting, having spent 18 years on Wall Street prior to all this, I was fortunate enough to be a partner at Goldman Sachs. And I recall early on thinking, well, I have a perfectly fine thing here with a career, but I can't get this idea out of my head. And I do feel it's my calling to leave, to bring this to the world. And of course, there made a lot of sense with regards to, well, this is good for people. Using our real estate as a healthcare intervention tool to constantly and passively deliver prevention to people every day. You walk into a well-certified or a well-rated building, and your health improves. You walk into a well-certified platinum building with 100 features verified, your energy levels, your sleeping patterns, your respiratory outcomes. This is clearly something with tremendous societal benefit. But from a Wall Street lens, I also wondered, can this make sense economically as well? Is there a financial gain here? And it's so interesting because when you intuitively think, what would it mean if we took $300 trillion of real estate and infused it with what amounts to be trillions of dollars a year of spend every year in a brand new sector called health and wellness? Health and well-being are being infused into every consumer product category we touch nowadays. Organic food versus regular food, the wellness premium or version. Our question was, why not real estate? Why not our largest consumption? Where is the wellness offering for real estate? The homes we buy, the offices we occupy, the hotels rooms we stay in. And here's what we've now found. Years of data. Not only does this make sense, not only is this good for people, not only does this differentiate best in class versus not, but guess what? It makes money. There are premiums to well-certified buildings versus not. In fact, JLL and MIT independently conclude through their research that commercial office leasing rates get 7% premiums on well-certified and rated buildings versus not. In hotels, we've seen 6 years of data now. Wellness-infused hotel rooms, for instance, our Stay Well program with the likes of MGM, Marriott, Wyndham, Four Seasons. Wellness-infused hotel rooms generate 20 to 25% room rate premiums versus identical rooms in the same hotel that don't have the health and wellness amenities. Why? Well, it becomes personal. Someone staying in a hotel room, they'll sleep better. They'll breathe easier. They'll cure their jet lag or eliminate their jet lag. These are things people look for. So this wellness real estate proposition has become a paradigm to have made tremendous sense from a societal standpoint and an economic standpoint. And again, this is just beginning. This journey requires leadership. Our solutions platform has now gotten into very specific, best-in-class understanding of products for air filtration, water filtration, circadian lighting. Our standards and development team continues to innovate and create more levels of the well-building standard. And it's just so wonderful to come back to a place like this, where these nascent ideas started, and again, through the great leadership, see that not only can this work, this can scale. And this can become the new normal, where hopefully we'll all look back one day, and it's not called wellness real estate anymore, it's just our real estate. And we think back, remember a time when we didn't consider the health and well-being of the occupants that we built all this real estate for? Remember when the term sustainability only meant environmental sustainability and not also human or biological sustainability? And so it's an exciting time. Our incredible team and their tireless efforts, and particularly, Tika, your efforts to convene this. Big round of applause to you, by the way. We've got an incredible day with great thought leadership. It is my great honor to be here and to continue to advance this thought with such wonderful leaders. And I hope everyone has an excellent day. We'll be around all day for any and all conversations. Thank you, everybody.